Right now, millions of creatives are actually making themselves replaceable. They are chasing speed over depth, and they're trying to create like AI does, but you're not a fucking robot. You're a beautiful human. The future doesn't belong to the fastest. It really belongs to those that learn to master what AI can't master. And those things are your intuition, your deep presence, and your level of creative embodiment. So we're gonna dive into in this video why the future belongs to these creatives, what I call the embodied creative, why AI can imitate but it can't embody, which is one of your greatest assets, how your nervous system is your competitive advantage, and how to stand out as an embodied creative. So look, let's face it, like AI is getting like fucking insane at generating creative work, you know, things like Midjourney to make all sorts of renderings, images, digital art, all of that, great, you know. Even like, you know, writing, design, music. I think it can even like write music and stuff now. I'm not super up to date. I'm not ultra savvy with AI and stuff like that. But I'm seeing the impacts in the creative world, you know, and I walk into the coffee shop and I see 6 people that have ChatGPT up on their computer. I'm like, damn, dude, this shit is fucking here to stay. And don't get me wrong, I use it, you know, I'm not against it, but I'm for consciously embracing it in a way that feels aligned for you. But the premise of what AI does is imitate. It can only imitate what's already available in the world. It can't deeply embody and create like a human can, right? So lived experience, embodiment, and your sort of creative intuition are what make you irreplaceable as a creative in the age of AI. You know, anyone can remix things from the past, but not everyone can really feel, interpret, and innovate from the sense of presence. And I don't know, raise your hand if you've met a robot who can hold greater nervous system capacity than your therapist. I haven't, right? You know, so really, to put that in the example of creativity, the creatives who are thriving and who will continue to thrive in the next 5, 10, 20 years aren't the ones who are trying to outpace AI, or rather, aren't the ones who are worried about AI, because if you're worried about it, you're fucking gone. You're gone, I'm sorry. I say that with love to help you, slap you around to say, it's your presence, man. The ones who lean in deeper to what makes them uniquely human, which is your presence, your capacity to create from this sort of body, nervous system, soul that you have, is what truly sets you apart. So let's dive into why your nervous system is your greatest competitive advantage. Robots don't have a nervous system, right? Creativity isn't just about ideas, you know, like AI can generate ideas. But what, in my eyes, what really makes creativity so filled with aliveness is the energetics. The energetics of creating, which is what emanates from the bottom up, from the inside out, right? So something that operates like computationally, let's say that, you know, some algorithmically, I mean, that speed condenses and destroys any energy, right? I don't know, I feel like I'm just a firm proponent of slow. Now, when I get excited, I start talking fast, sure, you know, but to me, slow is fast. Slow creates spaciousness for energy to fill the space, to land with others. Slow creates trust. Slow regulates the nervous systems of those around you. Slow is attractive, you know? And AI ultra speed just doesn't really embody energy because it can't. It's not designed for that, you know? So when you operate at the speed of your own nervous system, which I encourage you to even slow down more, downshift, hit the brake, take it out in 10th gear and get into frickin' 9th for God's sakes, you know. If you drive a 5-speed manual, take it out of 5th gear and cruise it into 3rd. You know, you're driving through town. You don't need to be going 80 miles an hour. When you move at the speed of your own nervous system and learn to slow that down even more, you are creating a spaciousness in your presence and in your life and creative expression for more ideas to land. Because I'm a firm believer that life is constantly trying to flow through you. And there's this great saying for all you conscious spiritual cats out there: God can only do for you what God can do through you. And I think that's such a beautiful frame for the divine. Is the divine is always moving energy through us, whether we are open and available to it or not. And the degree to which we have the nervous system capacity to attune to that and let that flow through us is really the degree of success that you, and fulfillment that you feel in life. At least for me, man, like that's where unexpected magic comes from. That's where love is amplified. That's where just, where did this idea come from? Oh my gosh, I gotta write this down right now type of energy comes from. So conversely, if we're not wide, if we're not using our nervous system to our advantage, i.e. being in our body, being present and relaxed, when we're dysregulated, creativity suffers from that state. You know, like there's no creative capacity when we're constantly just trying to survive, you know. Maybe for a moment, look, like I get it. If cortisol is spiking through your system, maybe in a spontaneous moment, you might have a creative idea and whatever. But as far as sustainability goes, as far as creating something of long-lasting impact, something that feels good, like it's a deep expression of your soul, if you are dysregulated, chances are that's not gonna come through you, right? So signs, and this is something I notice in myself too, because look, I can be saying this, dude, I'm not a master, I'm on the ground level with this too, you know? I find myself getting dysregulated. We all have triggers. It's great. All of these things are amazing. It's just how you work with them is where the juice is. That's where the embodiment is, right? But a way that I see this play out in my craft, and I heard someone use this phrase, this woman that I follow, she uses this phrase, creative dysregulation, and I think it's so true. When we're creatively dysregulated, what do we look to make us feel safe? We look to trends. We try to force ourselves to be more productive. And as a product of that, we really lose touch with our core essence, which is what makes us human, right? Which is what makes us not a robot. Raise your hand if you're not a robot. I am not a robot. So I want to be connected to my core essence. I want to be connected to what I value, my heart. I want to be in my body when I create. I don't want to force the latest, I don't know, what TikTok trend of getting rich overnight. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want what feels good to my system, and I want you to know what that's like for you. And chances are that's slowing down your nervous system, listening to the speed that your nervous system responds well to, stretching the edge. I have plenty of videos speaking to that. Go binge all the videos on my channel. But really learning that slowing down in such a speedy culture is so magnetic, and it's such a gift to the world. And the most irreplaceable creatives in my eyes are the ones who are moving slowly, are making an impact in creating and sharing their gifts, but they're deeply present. They're downshifted. So they have more space to be emotionally intelligent and resilient. And they've really created a more unwavering devotion to their craft. I speak a lot on the kind of abstract, woo energetics, but I do love this phrase, unwavering devotion. How can I be totally committed yet completely detached to my creative craft? How can I be unwaveringly devoted to giving my gifts without expectation of what happens on the other side? That's magnetic, right? That is so magnetic. But it takes a certain level of presence and slowing down to embody that. And AI is all about speed, 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 more, and I am all about less. So here's how I like to frame the future of creative work, where we're heading as a species, culture, economy. I think the future belongs to the embodied creator. I truly do. So I made a whole training on how to become an embodied creator. Look, link in the description below. But I just want to give you a brief snapshot of like how you can stand out. So the first step is to stop trying to beat AI if you are someone who's kind of caught up in that realm. And by beat AI, I also mean worry about AI. Think that you need to be on the latest and greatest trends of AI. Think that you need to outpace whatever the heck it is. Rather than putting attention on AI, focus on what makes you irreplaceable. Your stories, your intuition, your depth. Oh God, your depth and presence are your greatest gifts of being alive. Because that's what creates human connection. So focus more on how you can deepen your connections to other humans. How can you build trust? I'll tell you how you can build trust. To slow the fuck down, deepen your breath, and be more present with every step you take in the world. You can't always be on it, I get it, but try your best to embody more presence. When you are connecting with a human, look them that much deeper into the eyes with a little bit more softness. Kind eyes. Look at someone with kind eyes. Hear them without formulating what you're going to say back. This strengthens human connection, it builds trust. Not to mention, if you're doing that through your creative work, it is making you incredibly trustworthy, which people pay for trust. That people get out their checkbooks for that shit, baby. So, examples of artists, writers, and entrepreneurs, like, I see this whole new wave. I'm not going to give specific names and stuff, but I'm seeing this whole new wave of embodied creators, you know, people that I work with, that I'm inspired by, that are literally, they realize that presence is their product. And they are creating services, they are creating physical businesses out in the world, they're creating even courses and programs that are just extensions of their nervous system capacity into the world. Even artists who are creating, like musical artists that are creating experimental work that helps people tune into their bodies. Fuck, and they're also making so much money, like fucking $50,000 months. Like, dude, that's so inspiring. And I think it's because the world craves presence now more than ever, because we're losing it, right? So the more that you can prioritize authenticity and presence over any sort of fucking automated workflow, or how can I just get paid as quick as possible and not really have a human-to-human interaction, I think that's going to be really, really successful, you know? So practical shifts that you can do that will help you really leverage your embodiment as your greatest creative gift is to stretch your nervous system edge. By that, what I mean is where you just want to sort of give up and default to the quick, fast trends. Can you hold that pose of even maybe feeling a little discomfort, a little uncomfortable in, I know I'm meant for a different strategy and process, but I'm getting fucking frustrated because I'm not seeing the fast results. Can I hold that pose just for 10% longer? Just for another week? Can I sit with that discomfort just a little bit more and be that much more present with myself? Deepening your presence is really the greatest edge you can stretch. That's where your leverage is. That's where that's your secret tactic, right? I mean, I hate using that type of new age YouTuber bullshit, but I mean, you know what? It's fucking true. Like, your deep presence is what makes you irreplaceable as a creative in the age of AI. I don't care what you say. Creating work from that place of presence will never be replicated by AI. So the more that you can focus on becoming that deepest, most present version of you, the more you're going to fucking succeed in this world. You know? Because, you know, robots might be fast, but they don't have soul. And shit, you know, maybe at some point they have soul, but who the fuck cares? You're a human. Be more of you. That's your edge. That's your winning angle, is the presence that only you can give to the world. Two people with the same skill sets will embody totally different levels of presence because they're different humans, you know? So there's no shortage, there's no oversaturation. Everyone has a level of presence that they need to bring to the world, and that will always be valued. There's always space for you. So if this hit home, if you resonated with this, I would love to hear what struck a chord with you. Drop a comment below. If you want to really deepen your creative embodiment and have sort of a training to guide you through how to become a fucking badass creative leader who's embodied and present, check out the Embodied Creator Toolkit. Links in the description below. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, because it helps me make more of this for you. Because I'm just giving this generously from the depths of my heart and presence, because it feels good. So thanks for being here, y'all. Appreciate you. Ciao.